let's say you got to do like a murder case, something, the damn murderer's in there, and you sitting in the damn jury, he just looking at you, like just looking at all y'all, like, yeah, I'm gonna get y'all. I'm looking at all y'all's faces.
Right, I remember everybody in here.
Get y'all.
Just to get
if
y'all
I go
going.
to jail.
If I go down, I got you. I already know your mama. Yeah, that's how they
That's
look
how I
at it.
feel like.
Welcome back to the show. It's the Rick and Riyah show. I'm Rick.
I'm Riyah.
Oh man, I don't know if she was ready for that one, but hey, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started, get everything going. This is episode, I think, number 11, and we are live on the man. On demand. You ever been on demand?
On demand?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, on the man. I was like, what man?
Hey, pause.
I didn't know what you was talking about.
Pause. Yeah, not on no man. I say on demand.
Demand. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like being requested, being searched for,
no one's
being
searching
asked.
or requesting.
Nobody's searching or requesting or asking for you.
No, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure they are.
No one is not.
You famous around these parts, man. Remember you was at...
No. No, I don't know. No. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, well, you live, though. So, yeah, I start this off then because I had jury duty today, and I don't know why you have so many questions.
I'm so
questions
intrigued.
About it, and I'm like...
Because I'm a law and order fanatic, so anything to do with jail or cops or court, it's very interesting to me. So, law and order in suits, it's very interesting, and I'd like to know if it's like in the shows, if it's like that in real life.
If it's like that.
'Cause I've never been called to jury duty for some reason.
Yeah.
So.
You need to go vote then. And then you get, I mean,
I register to vote. I just don't ever have time to vote because I be at work and stuff. So
that's how they get you, man. As soon as you put in that ballot, they be like, "Gotcha, bitch."
They never called me. I think my brother has been called for jury duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my brother has, but I've never.
You got to do your duties as an active citizen. You got to go to the courts. You got to sign up.
I feel like
I would requested.
I feel like I would be scared just because of like the case or something, and then like let's say you got to do like a murder case, something, the damn murderer's in there, and you sitting in the damn jury, he just looking at you, like just looking at all y'all, like, yeah, I'm gonna get y'all. I'm looking at all y'all's faces.
Right, I remember everybody in here.
Get y'all.
Just to get
if
y'all
I go
going.
to jail.
If I go down, I got you. I already know your mama. Yeah, that's how they
That's
look
how I
at it.
feel like they're gonna get revenge on you or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you see that video? Well, I mean, it's an old video, but it was like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
And the guy in the, they were doing his court case, and he was trying to, what's this last statement you do when you're like trying to.
Closing argument? The closing?
Well, no, I don't think it's a closing argument. Maybe closing statement, and he's trying to like plead with the judge, like, Judge, this is my first time. Like, I'll never do this again. I'm trying to be a better person.
Oh, that's when they ask you to speak to the judge.
Yeah.
Like after everything, so you can get a lighter sentence.
Yeah, so he's talking to the judge saying sorry, and, it's not like him, and, he'll never do this again. And the judge listened to what he said, and then she was like, I've heard what you said, but we're still going to sentence you. I forgot what the sentence was. And he was like, oh, no, bitch, I'm not going to jail. He jumped over the podium.
Oh, yeah, that's when he
and
tried to hit the judge.
He flew over the thing and jumped on the lady, on the judge.
Yeah, that's what
like, that
I remember
was crazy.
that. That was going viral.
It's not
for
funny.
A little bit. Yeah, it was going viral.
But it was crazy. Like, who does that? How you just talking about you just changed and you trying to do better, and then you wanted to call her a bitch and then jump over the damn thing and beat her up?
Right. So that's what you think that's going to happen? There we go. To like be a...
Yeah, I feel like the suspect is gonna get revenge on you.
Yeah, man.
If he gets again life in prison or something, he's gonna...
Yeah, those like high profile cases. So you get like... So what end up happening is they give you like certain courtrooms And then depending on like the courtroom you go to, like that's the type of cases that you get. So you get like
So did you know what case they were gonna have you be on?
Nah,
Or
you
they
don't
didn't
know.
say?
It's like I heard it's like different because I was, my dispatcher, he was telling me in L.A. is like different. They give you like a pool number, and then you get in the pool, and they'll call you like when they need you. So maybe your jury due date was like today, but then they don't need you to come in today. They might be like, hey, call back tomorrow. We'll call you for yours.
Right.
But on this one, it's like you get there and then they assign you like a courtroom just based on like a random order with your specific number. So the first one to call. So I'm thinking they was gonna go through like basically like one to where I was. I think my number was like the last number too. So I was like 1488. So 1,488. Right. So I'm thinking they're gonna go through order like, one,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. So when they first called for the first courtroom and they was like, all right, number 1, number 3, I'm like, oh man, I'm finna be here all day. Them calling all the way up to 1,400. You know what I'm saying? I say, God damn, I'm finna be here all day. I say, man, I'm finna be here all day. And even one of the dudes in the back, he yelled out. He was like, man, we gonna be here all day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just kind of like laughed a little bit. And then, so that's how they end up calling your numbers. So, but they call it in a random order and they picking 30 people per
Group.
courtroom.
Okay.
Yeah, per courtroom. So we had it was 6 courtrooms that you had to go to. And each one of them had like a different type of court. So you had like
civil
county,
court,
yeah,
family
civil,
court.
county. So it's county court, which it handles like all the family and stuff like that. And then you had civil court, which was like the other
Like
court.
I'm suing you for something or whatever.
Yeah, civil, and like they handle criminal cases too. So I didn't get assigned the civil courtroom. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say you got to go to 114th courtroom, you know something about to go down in there.
So which one did you get?
I got the county court law.
So what kind of cases are those?
So it's more like it's like parenting, custody
like
battles,
child support.
yeah, like
Okay,
stuff
family,
like that, like family
family stuff.
law,
Okay.
and then like I forgot what all it was saying, but it's within that area to where like it's like quick proceedings,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes like they don't even go through to the final end. So,
Right.
but yeah, I was looking at the dude. He was sitting next to me. He was like, "Man, I hope I get up out of here. I'm hoping I can get up out of here early so I can go home or whatever." He was like, "Man, I don't really want to." He was like, "I don't want to judge nobody's life or something like that." Right?
Yeah, I feel like I would have a lot of guilt too. Like if you sent someone to prison for a long time, like I would feel guilty. I don't know if I could deal with that.
Right.
Like I had a part in that and sent this person to jail for a damn 15 years.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah. You,
I don't know if I could
you
deal
sent
with that.
somebody home for a while,
Yeah.
man. So I was talking to him, and he was talking to me. And we were just chopping it up a little bit, laughing about it. And his number was 45. I'm like, well, at least you would know like early if you got to go to a courtroom or not, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta wait. I'm like the very last
1,000,
number. You know what I'm saying?
Thousand
I'm
people
like,
later.
yeah, I'm like, I gotta wait till they call all these folks, and before they get to the 14s, right? So his number ended up getting called, and I think he had to go to like it was either like 121 or something like that. And I just looked at him, I shook my head. I was
What's
like,
121?
That's like civil, so it's like those courtrooms where like it's criminal and all that stuff in there. I was like, I shook my head. I was like, "Dawg, you gonna be in there for a while, bro."
Yeah.
I said, you better hope you'll get a case that's gonna linger on for like 5 days or something like that. I say, man, yeah, you gonna be in some trouble, man. So yeah, he was like, oh, man, he was hoping that he had got like what I had got, like the county, because that's like simple case. Because he was telling me about it too. He was like, yeah, those kind of go pretty fast. And he was like, sometimes you don't even need to you don't even need to go in sometimes. They'll just let you go. So he ended up having to go to silver this time. I know he was upset about that because he was trying to get the hell up out of there, man. So they end up pulling him, and then I got called like two courtrooms later.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get in there with a group of people. But one thing that was interesting is that you see all groups of life of people in there.
Right.
It's like everybody is like just different. Like,
well, what did you think? It was only gonna be a certain type of person there, or?
Yeah, cause it was my first time really going to jury duty.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like,
time.
I ain't never been before. So I'm thinking like, I'm kind of thinking like it's like Suits. I'm thinking they put you inside the jury box and then they start asking you questions like, hey, what do you think about this XYZ?
Which is what I thought that they do. I thought that they have to interview you first to see if you even qualify to be a juror. Because some people, like, they can't if they're discriminative about another race or if they have, like, different political views. Like, I thought you weren't able to do that, but no.
Yeah, that's what I said. I guess they didn't even, like, ask, like questions. Well, I know I didn't get to that point. I don't know if it's, like, in certain other like criminal cases or stuff like that, where like you get in there and they start questioning you, and then they just choose out of the amount of people or whatever the jury pool, and you go from there. But it was just because that's what I thought. I was like, okay, well, we about to get pulled, and you get assigned a courtroom, then you go into the courtroom, and then the lawyer coming in there, he asks you a set of questions.
Louis Litt comes in.
And then he asks you certain questions. Right. So you just ask your questions back and forth, and then they choose you and be like, okay, yeah. But I think that's probably like for more like, bigger cases or something like that. Like,
okay, so then when they called you, you went into the room, and then what?
No, when they call me, you go up to the courtroom, and then you wait in the hallway until the bailiff come out.
Okay, and so you waiting there.
Yeah, so you waiting there until the bailiff come out, and then so we was next to like two other courtrooms, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was in 3, and the other folks they was in 4. So the people that was in 4, the bailiff there, he was walking them through like the whole spiel, like, hey, if it's a fire, we got to exit this way.
Okay.
And he was talking about the doors. He was like, these are thick wooden doors. Like, once I lock you in there, nobody's getting in or getting out.
Right.
Like, you can't shoot a bullet through it. Like, he just talking about, I'm like, damn, like, he making all these folks nervous as hell, right? Like, god damn. So, he walking us through all of that. He was like, man, if I got to get you out of here on my back, old country boy too. He said, "Yeah, I'm a country boy. If I gotta get you out here on my back, then I'm going go ahead and get you up out of here. If it's fire, I won't leave nobody behind." I was like, damn. I kind of wish I was with you then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I said, the way you talking. So he lined everybody up, and then they went in there, in their courtroom. So when I was getting called, number 4 was called right before 3. So they called for the courtroom 4, and then 3, I was next. So if I was in 4, I would have still been up there right now, because they had to all go in there and hear about the case and all that stuff like that. So I got the call. Then I go upstairs. I wait in the hallway for our bailiff. He come out, Spanish dude. He like, look, man, y'all give me about 15 minutes, and I'm going to let y'all know what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? It might be over before it started. Everybody like, okay, well, shoot, man, let's see what happens, right? So that boy came out. About 10 minutes later. He like, if I call your name, I'm going to give you a number. So when he did that, I'm like, damn, man, we probably got to go in there, because that's what the other bailiff did to the other folks.
Right.
He called them and put them in order, and that's where you seat when you go in there. So he go to calling off all our names. And like I said, I'm the last person, you know what I'm saying? So I'm number 30.
Yeah.
And he called me. After he called me, like, y'all free to go. I say, damn, we good? He like, yeah, you good. Yeah, I say, oh, yeah, let me get up out of here. Let me rush up out of here, man. Before y'all need me again, then I got to sit here about 8 hours and then come back tomorrow and, deliberate on this case. Yeah, so
So I wonder if that means the case was canceled or they
probably made a judgment
made a
on
deal
it. Yeah, made
or
something
like
like
without the jury or
But it looked like it was family though, because it was like this couple.
maybe they didn't show up.
Yeah, it was this couple and their lawyer there at the door, and then there was some people inside there still talking to the judge, and then their lawyer went in to talk to the judge and was like, "Hey, let me see if I can talk to the judge before everything get to going." And yeah, I think they made some type of deal or came to some type of agreement, so that nothing even needed to go on, And I guess the bailiff, he kind of already saw that was what was going to happen. So he was just like, all right, well, yeah, we don't need y'all no more for this court. My question is, I want to do this happen every day. Like, do they pull people every day to come up there and do like court?
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty sure they do. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a million cases. Imagine how many cases there
how many cases
a day.
Right. And that's what I was like.
Probably a lot of.
So imagine how many people like you gotta plan it. You gotta pre-plan it out like every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like you gotta give this out to people like weeks in advance. So like right now they sending out jury duty for like people in June right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you planning it so far out to get people to show up and do whatever it is that you may need to do, man. Because I was like, man, I'm sending these cats to jail. Whoever it is.
You can't say that.
Unless I'm on.
If you would have said that, they would have been like, sir, you can't be on the panel.
I know, that's what get me up out of there. And then I was talking to my dispatcher, and he was like, well, if you say that, he was like, the people that do want you to say that, they might pick you. And then the person on the other side, so he was like, you don't know what you really want to say because you don't want to lean too far a certain way because then this person chooses you, or you lean the other way and then the other person chooses you, right? So he was like, you kind of got to stay in the middle. And just
you have
be
to
like,
be neutral or...
You got to be like, you just don't know or something like that, yeah.
Be on it.
Yeah, he was like, it all depends on like if they pick you because then if you, depend, if I was on Young Thug trial right now, I'm letting that boy go. Hey, man, let Thugger leave, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's innocent.
Deliberate. Hey, man, he's innocent, man. Let's cut the case, man. Like, who I need to talk to?
What if you
Who's
was on
the
Tory
headshot?
Lanez?
I'm letting my boy free. I let my boy go, dog. If I was on Tory Lanez, I'm letting him go. Hey, man, what we doing here, man? Come on, man.
He shot that girl.
Hey, man, I'm letting him go, dog.
He shot someone in the foot.
Hey, man, it wasn't no evidence to prove it.
There was. It just couldn't say. Like, they didn't want to say.
There wasn't no evidence. There wasn't no videotape, no nothing. Like, you didn't have no evidence.
She literally said it, though.
I mean, I could say you shoot me right now and shoot myself.
How would she shoot herself?
I ain't saying that. No, I'm not saying that she shot herself. I'm just saying, like, it's been oftentimes. Here's a story, right?
I had a teacher. Your word against mine.
So let me tell you this, right? I had a teacher that I was in class with.
Didn't her friend say that too? That he's the one who shot her too?
Nah, she started off with like, oh, she didn't know, and then she was like, she don't know, and I still think she shot her, but who knows right now? Who knows the story? But I had a teacher that I was in journalism with, and he was a basketball player, right? Mm-hmm. And this
he was a basketball player and a teacher?
No, I mean, when he was in high school, this happened in high school.
He was a basketball player.
Yeah, when he was in high school, he was a basketball player, and he used to, was a good hooper, whatever the case may be. And he was like, one time, it was this lady that lived like around the corner that just like didn't like the kids at all, like just an older lady and just didn't like the kids. And she ended up somebody ended up robbing her, and they end up, somebody ended up robbing someone in that neighborhood and end up killing the person. And then they blamed it on him, my teacher. What? She was like, and the lady who didn't like kids, the lady who didn't, she said she saw him. Damn. And said that he was the one who that did it and identified him, right?
Damn.
I was like, man, that's crazy. So he was like, they came and arrested him from school and everything, right? Arrested him from school, you know, he go down there, he go to jail or whatever. Well, he's juvenile because, you know, he was under the age. And he was like, in the whole time, and, you know, this was back in like the 70s, something like that. Yeah, this was like back in the 70s. Yeah, it had to be back in the 70s when he was talking about it. And the whole time, like, it was going on, he was trying to tell them that, hey, it's no way that I could have did this crime because I was at a basketball game that same night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was trying to explain to them that, hey, you know, I was at a basketball game, such and such. And, like, his parents didn't really go to, like, the games or nothing like that. So they couldn't really, his parents couldn't verify it, right?
That he was there.
That he was there because they was working and stuff like that. And the only way that, the way that he ended up getting off the case, because, like, he was locked up, I think he said he was locked up for, like, 4 or 5 months. And the only way he ended up getting off the case is that they found somebody that had, like, some type of, I don't know if it was recording or what they had back there, or like a picture or something like that. And they took a picture of him or something like that during that night.
Oh, at the game.
At the game.
Wow.
And they had to go find this person. Like, they didn't even, you know, they had to search through and, you know, question everybody to see if they saw him or whatever the case may be at the game. And they only cleared him out. He was like, man, he was cleared out because somebody took a photograph of him at the game that night.
Damn.
If not, he would have been in jail for a crime that he didn't do.
They didn't even do.
You know, because of one eyewitness just saying that, hey, you did it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's what's crazy about it. So I know all these folks don't be liking these cameras and all that around, but sometimes, you know, if he would have had a camera back then, he would have been straight.
Yeah.
You know, he would have been saved. So, but yeah, I'll never forget that story that he told us that. And I couldn't even believe it. He was like, man, he was locked up about 5 months until they found that person. And I was like, that's just
Did he
crazy.
sue the police department?
He didn't never say did he sue him. And we was too young to even,
Or, I mean, not
ask.
the police department, but like for being wrongfully accused, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know if you can. I don't know, but he never went into that part about
like what happened after.
Like what happened after, but cause I forgot how the whole story even came about. Like he was talking about. I think he was talking about, like, he was kind of like one of them teachers as well that talk about, like, hey, don't put yourself in positions to where that you don't need to be in, because, you know, certain things can happen that you might just end up, you know, being a witness to or being by and stuff like that. And then he just went into his whole story and stuff like that, and it was yeah, it was wild, man. It was wild like that, and I was just like, that's crazy. Guess who I seen up there though at the at jury duty today?
Who?
I seen Elijah School vice principal. She was up there.
Which one? What's her name?
I don't know her name.
The lady with the braids?
Yeah, with the braids. Yep. She was up there.
Blonde braids.
Yep. Blonde braids. She was up there, and only reason why I knew was because the only reason why I knew because she was up there talking to. Remember I told you the deputy came out and trying to offer everybody jobs. She was like, "Hey, we're hiring. We really need people. We need people in the 911 department, and you know, we need detaining, I think they call them detaining officers or detainment officers and correctional officers." Well, she was like, they do detainment, and the difference between detainment and correctional, she was trying to go through all that spiel and just try to recruit people. But the way that I found out was because the lady, the principal, she asked a question about, do they have, like, teachers? Because the lady mentioned
she was there doing jury duty too.
Yeah, she was there doing jury duty.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she was there doing jury duty, and she asked, she was like, and it's weird because I'm like, I wonder, and I thought about it. I was like, I wonder if I run into somebody that I would, like, kind of like know, you know, but, and it was only her, but, and like I said, I don't know her like that, but, you know, I've seen her multiple times picking up when I go to pick them up and stuff like that. But she was there, and the deputy lady who was offering the job, she asked the question. No, she said something about, oh, we also have like, detainment officers that go in there to be teachers if they got like a teacher's degree and stuff like that. And the lady, and that's when she started asking questions about becoming a teacher. And she was like, yeah, because she was like, man, I just, witnessed we had a school shooting yesterday, and I just don't even know what to do. And she was like, it sounded like a good opportunity or whatever the case may be. And the deputy was like, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. And, it's just, it's crazy that happens. And then, like, one of the other ladies in the back, she was like, yeah, school is getting real tough, these days. Not only just that, but also having to, worry about, like, kids that's bad or, misbehave. And, you sometimes you don't even get a chance to, like, teach kids, like, the lesson because, they just out of control.
Interrupting class and stuff like that, yeah.
So she was like that. And so I was just surprised. And that's the only reason why I kind of knew. I was like, damn. And then I was like, maybe it was another school or something like that. But because she was sitting in front of me, so I couldn't see her face. But then when we got on the elevator, because she was going to courtroom 4, and I was going to no, matter of fact, she was going to courtroom 5, and I was going to 3, and they like right across from each other.
Right.
So that, and then I saw her, and I was like, just say, hey, how you doing and stuff like that. And so she was inquiring about the job, man, because she said, that thing scared her to death.
Being a deputy, or what was it? Are they to be cops or to work in the court, or?
Nah, so they run like the courtrooms, and then they also run like the jail. So they do like the jail. They don't do like prison or anything like that.
I don't know. I feel like those are dangerous jobs too. People be shooting in the courtrooms too.
Yeah, that's why the bailiff was talking about. He was like, look, man, these walls, these walls are thick. No bullets are getting through these walls.
Did you go through a metal detector when you went through there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta go through.
So you couldn't have carried your gun.
Nah, I mean, unless you just gonna bully your way through there.
Yeah.
And just,
so they do check.
Yeah. I think a lot of the times when weapons be in there, I think it happens from like the cleaning crew, because let's just say you cleaning the building during the off hours, and then you could slide a weapon somewhere in there and just tell the person, you know what I'm saying, tell the person where it's at. And somebody, they just paid you off or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like some way, somehow you can get it done.
Yeah, I think it got to happen from somebody like that actually like work in there.
Yeah.
That can pull it off. Unless you just going to come in there, Rambo style and just shoot you. Yeah,
which I doubt that because there's too many.
Yeah, it's too much. To make that happen.
Yeah, I don't think I would like any type of job like that. Like, I don't feel like the pay is enough to have to risk your life.
Yeah, you gotta risk your life on the line. You gotta put your life
$25,000 a year. Like, nah. That's not worth my life.
Said, I think she said they started off at like 60,000.
That's still not enough to risk your life.
Yeah, she was like, we start off at like 60,000, and then she was like, if you got a degree, they'll pay you. Now I sound like I'm recruiting people.
You want to work there? Did you apply?
I sound like I'm recruiting people over here, man. Yeah, she. But it was just interesting. Like people were asking questions about it, and then there was, I guess they want to get the job or something like that, man. I was just like, nah, I don't know. Then this one lady, she was like, oh yeah, I can do 911. And I was like, damn, 911 calls? I say, boy, that's different people right there.
So I be on TikTok, all right? And I be, like, a lot of my TikTok is a lot of, like, 911 calls come up, right? And it's just, like, a picture, and then it's just, like, the audio.
Right.
It's a lot of that I be watching. And they're, like, terrifying. And there was this one that I watched that, man, that shit was so sad. Like, this lady got caught in a flood, right? And I guess it was at nighttime, and she was delivering newspapers or something. And it was at nighttime, so she ain't see how flooded the roads was. So she got stuck in the flood, and the water was just getting higher. So she calls 911, And the lady on the other line was like, okay, what's your name? You know, what's going on? And the lady's just like hysterical because she's scared. She's like, I'm stuck in the flood and I can't move my car. I don't know where I'm at. Like, it's dark. I was delivering newspapers. And the lady was just like, okay, can you be quiet for a second? I'm trying to figure out how to get you help. And the lady's like, I'm sorry, I'm just so scared. And like, this never happened. Like, the car's filling up with water. And she's like, can you shut up? Like, the operator told her to shut up. That's while crazy. This lady's like pleading for her life. And I was just like, that's not real. Like, I couldn't believe it. And she just like didn't care. Like, she had no empathy at all. And the lady was like, I'm just so scared. Like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, if you didn't drive into the flood, you wouldn't be in this situation. And she's like, ma'am, I didn't see the water. Like, it was dark. And she's like, well, why would you be out driving anyways in a flood? And like, she was just so like rude. Prank, though, man. No, it wasn't a prank. Because then after I Googled it and it really happened. The lady drowned.
That's crazy. The
lady drowned. The car filled with water and she drowned because they couldn't find her. And just the operator was literally just being rude to her the whole time. She's like, I'm trying to find where you're at and you're not like telling me anything. And she's like, ma'am, it's dark. Like, I'm freaking behind these apartments. I don't know where I'm at. And she was trying to tell her the roads. And she was like, listen for the sirens. And the lady was just like crying hysterically. And she's like, the water is filling up in the car. Like, I'm gonna drown. And she's like, you're not gonna drown. You're gonna be fine. Like, you're exaggerating. Like, you need to calm down. Like, I'm trying to get the paramedics to find you or the firemen to find you. And she was just like yelling at her the whole time to be quiet and to listen for the sirens. And they didn't find her in time and she drowned.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I was like, that's so sad. Like, you have that type of job and she was just like so rude. Like, she didn't.
Yeah, you supposed to be. I mean, that's the number one customer service job.
Yeah, I feel like you literally have to be an empathetic person to calm these people down, not be rude and like.
Right.
like why would you tell the poor lady like, oh well, if you wasn't out in the rain, like your ass wouldn't be stuck in the damn flood.
Right.
Like, why would you say something like that? Like,
I wonder if the lady knew how to swim, because I would have just tell her open the door.
She was telling her, why don't you just open the door and get out? And she's like, ma'am, I can't. Like, the doors are stuck. I guess the water was all the way up to the doors, and she couldn't open the door.
Okay.
And the windows were up, so she was scared to roll down the windows to get out. She's like, I don't want to get out, because then where do I go? She's like, I can't swim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she told the lady, I can't swim. And she was like, well, if you can't swim, why the hell would you be out in the flood? That's what she told her. And I was like, oh, my God. So they were doing.
Get out and like stand on top of the.
Yeah, like
roof.
sit on top of the car or something. But the water was like sweeping the car away anyways. So she's like, ma'am, the car's moving. Like, what do I do? And she was just screaming for help. And the lady was like, can you shut up? Like, she was just telling her to shut up. I was like,
that's crazy.
That's horrible. So imagine your last minutes of life and you're getting freaking yelled at and just like belittled the whole time. Like, that's so sad from someone who you're calling to help you.
Right. That's supposed to help you.
I'm like, what kind of operator is that? Like, you shouldn't be doing that type of job then, because you're supposed to be able to be calm. You're supposed to be able to calm the other person. And like, she did the total opposite. I think her family, the lady's family, I think they're trying to sue the police department, or not the police department, but the lady, I guess, or for like misconduct or something like that about her job. And it was a lot. It was a real story. Did they fire
the lady or not?
Shit, I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah,
all I read was that
it's probably like, because it's hard to find people for that job anyway. All
I read was
they always hiring.
That the lady drowned, that they didn't find her in time, and she had drowned in the car, and that the family was trying to sue because the recording was released, and because of like what the lady was saying to her was so horrible at that time. So the family was trying to sue her or something, or I forgot what it was, but they were trying to sue her, and That's all I read. So I don't know if she, and they posted her picture like everywhere, and
the lady,
yeah, the
agent?
operator,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They posted her face like everywhere.
Damn, so she can't get a job nowhere.
Probably not. Nope.
I'm like, damn.
But yeah, I was like, that's a really hard job to have.
Yeah, it is. But then I'm like, I mean, what if that's like her 15 call of the night? You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
that's what she was saying. That's literally what she said. She was like, ma'am, I have to take care of you and all these other calls. Like, you need to calm down. Like, I'm trying to help you and you won't shut up. Like, I'm trying to help a bunch of other people. But I'm like, still, like, that's obviously your job to do.
Right.
How can you talk to someone like that in that type of situation? Like, the lady's freaking terrified. She's doesn't know how to swim. The car's filling up with water. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you talk to someone like that? Like,
so how much money they gotta pay you to jump on the phone?
Nothing. I would not be able to do it. Like, I feel like
$100
I would
an
not.
hour, you wouldn't do it for $100?
I cannot. I would literally have nightmares.
Give me $100.
You know what? How many other calls I've heard like that were worse than that, and I was like literally crying listening to them. I don't know why I'd be listening to them, and I'd just be googling the stories like of what happened, like with the calls or whatever, and that should just be so sad. Like,
man, I was like, give me $100, man, an hour.
This one lady I heard, she called 911, and she was like crying and telling them that the babies wouldn't calm down, and I forgot if it was a lady or a man on the other side, and they were like, what do you mean? Like, what's going on with the baby? She's like, I don't know. They won't calm down. Like, they're just crying, and they won't stop crying. I don't know what to do. And she's just, like, screaming and screaming. And then her husband comes and takes the phone from her, and he's like, please send someone. Like, my wife slashed the baby's necks, and they're bleeding everywhere. Like, please send help now. So the lady was, like, going through, like, postpartum depression.
Yeah.
And I guess the babies were crying so much, she, like, just snapped. And she stabbed the babies and, like, slit their necks. It was very, like...
That's crazy. I could take that call for $100.
Hell no. I was just like...
I could take that call, man. Yeah. I'd have been like, sir, I'm so sorry to hear that,
that's
man.
so
like,
traumatic to hear, and then you just hear just like the people screaming, and like it's so traumatic.
I'll be like, I got help on the way right now. Can I get your address, sir? Yeah. And we want to make sure that, you know, we're taking care of. Is she calm? How's she doing? You know, is there anything that you can get to, like...
So you don't think you would remember, like, any of that would bother you when you go to sleep at night? Like,
yeah, it would have definitely bothered me. I think about it all the time. But I think for the right price, I could do it.
I
you know what I'm saying? For the right price,
I could not do that.
You know, I can take care of that, man.
I can imagine. I really want to look up, like, probably, like, the suicide rate of, like, operators to see if that's even a thing. Like, because imagine how many calls you hear a day.
But then again, I don't know if it's like
and it's just, like, in your brain.
I don't think it's like a suicide rate. I think it's probably, like, maybe, like, something like...
Because if the people die...
I mean, I think like, it's something like people quit that job. You feel
like it's your fault because you couldn't do nothing to help them.
And
so it's like, I feel like they probably have a lot of guilt also, and that just seems like a lot that someone, like, I wouldn't be able to live with that. So
like, and that's what I think it is. Like, people probably get it, think they could do it for a while, and then do it, and then realize, like, oh, I got to quit.
I wonder how much that pays.
Kind of quit.
I wonder how much the suicide hotline people get paid. That's like a crazy job right there.
Yeah, I don't know how much they get paid, but I do know they're hiring for 911 agents. If you're out there, if you need a job and you can stomach it and you can provide good customer service, like that boy Keith Lee say, if you can provide good customer service and you can stomach it, then they are hiring. You know, they literally had a whole presentation. She had a whole presentation ready for us, seeing all the positions that she need. And I'm just like, in this day and age, man, kids ain't going into that. And then she made a joke, right, the deputy, she made a joke. She was like, well, I know y'all got some 18-year-olds living on the couch, and if they still on the couch, we'll accept them. We'll accept them.
Or they're probably just taking anybody, any and everybody.
That's kind of like what it is. She was like, man, yeah, like whatever it is, like, as long as you can, because you got to do like a psych eval and all that, right?
Yeah.
Still got to do the background, fingerprints and all that. And then they bring you in. But, yeah, she like, man, we will take anybody.
Mm-mm.
I was going to make a joke and be like, you can call Rick Ross back. Ross.
What? Why? What do you mean call Rick Ross?
He used to be a correctional officer.
Oh, I was like, what?
I was like, they could call him back, man.
They probably would have been like, sir, you're dismissed. You can go home.
I would have took that. That's earlier, too.
I just feel like those types of jobs need to have a higher pay rate for things that are like mentally traumatic to people.
Right.
I feel like you'd have to pay me a lot more. Like cops, firefighters, nurses, doctors. Like I feel like they should be the top paid people because they're risking their lives and saving lives.
Yeah, well, I mean, doctors are highly paid. You just got to get to a certain level with a doctor. But I mean, what she said 120,000 within 4 years. I mean, it ain't great money.
Yeah, but shit, you might die in the second year, so you might die the first, second year, so that don't even matter. I mean, you're gonna get shot on the job.
Well, you'll be in the jail, so I mean, you ain't out there.
You will get shanked on the job.
Ain't nobody shanking you in there, man. I've been to jail.
People are shanking.
Ain't nobody shanking.
Yes, they are.
Out of jail, probably
on TV.
it's all lies, man.
People die in jail all the time.
Not in jail. They die in prison. Yes. Yeah. It's a hard life in prison, especially if you ain't in like the feds or nothing like that, then it's a hard life. But in jail, you get away with it. I mean, jail ain't that hard, man. It just didn't pay. If she would have said, "Oh, we'll give you 110 out the gate, 110,000," I might have thought about it. I might have been like, I could do it for 110, man. But starting at 60,000, can't do it for 60,000, man.
Yeah,
60,000 ain't enough, man. Ain't enough at all, man.
Yeah, that's not enough for my mental stability.
Yeah,
can't do that.
Nah, it was just crazy that, like I said, the one lady said she wanted to do the 911 calls, like out of everybody, and then even the deputy, she was like, "Yeah, you a different type of breed, like."
Because that's not easy for someone to like. It has to be a certain type of person to be able to listen to that. And to be able not to freak out and to help help in that time of like emergency.
Gotcha. And I think I think Eliza's vice principal, talking about president, I think she might be gone out. She was negotiating.
I'm sure a lot of people is gonna be gone.
She's negotiating. She's negotiating her paycheck.
Yeah. Well, cause she probably don't get paid enough to deal with something like that. Like I very understandable.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to be in that type of job and get paid that and have to risk my life. Like it's very traumatic.
Yeah.
Something like that, and that it's not worth it. Not worth the long-term effects that's gonna have on you.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Very understandable that she would want to leave. I wouldn't blame her.
Yeah, can't blame on that one, man. So that's all my entire week right there and the whole schedule. You got anything happening in your week or anything interesting?
Did I tell you anything? I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, it's not much.
I mean, the week just started. It's Is it Monday? It's Tuesday?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Maybe last week. Yeah.
What was last week? Valentine's? Last week was Valentine's?
Yeah, I think so. We already talked about that, though.
Yeah, we talked about Valentine's. Do you remember anything I told you? I don't. I have a horrible memory.
Gotta start writing it down, man. Just write it down. Whatever you got.
If nothing happens, well, I'm going to write down.
Air.
Nothing.
Air.
My hopes and dreams. Like, I ain't got shit to talk about.
I
ain't got shit to write down.
You got to write down.
My life is literally
goals.
not exciting whatsoever.
Other people might.
Oh, I
think
think somebody. Did I tell you?
different.
Somebody. I mean, it's always something at work. Of course, I'm at work 80% of my life, so.
It sucks, ain't it?
Yeah, it sucks. But this is the simulation we're in, so gotta just work,
In the
go
matrix.
to sleep, work. Yeah.
In the work matrix.
Yep. So this man came up to me and he asked me. I forgot what he was looking for, but he was like, "Oh, can you look? Can you tell me where so and so is?" I think he was looking for like a cream or something. Can you tell me where this cream is at? And I was like, "Oh yeah." And like at the time, like I wasn't. I think I had just got there, so it was kind of early, and I wasn't really thinking. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I couldn't remember where the shit was. I usually know mostly where everything is, but I was like, let me look it up. So I got on my phone. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna look it. I was like, what is it called? And he told me. So I'm looking it up on my phone, and I got my phone. I'm looking down. I'm typing the name in, and so I'm looking. I'm searching, and he was like, girl, why are you texting? And I was like, and I stopped and I looked up and like, I didn't even know what to say. So I just started laughing and I was like, I'm not texting. I said, I'm looking up what you just asked me for. And he was like, oh. And then he just laughed. And then, but like, not like a real laugh, kind of like an awkward laugh. Like, right. Oh, I'm sorry. Like I just burst out and yelled at you. Yeah. And he was like, oh, and then I was like, okay. And I just kept looking and I was like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. So then I finally found out. I was like, it's over here. And I went and showed him. He was like, all right, thank you. And I just walked away. And I was like, why? If you asked
showed him on the phone, like,
if you asked me for something, why would I be texting in front of you? You literally just asked me a question. Right. So I was like, and then he called me girl. He was like, girl, why is you texting? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, sir, I don't even know you. Why is you talking to me like this? It was just so odd. And I just couldn't do anything but laugh because I was so uncomfortable. And I was just like, this is my life. Like, this is the shit that happens to me every day. It's just something ridiculous.
That's crazy.
And I just be, like, concerned that these are the type of people walking around, like, the earth, like, with us. And I just be like, what do these people be doing?
Yeah, you know, I was crazy because I was thinking like the same thing when I was sitting in the room this morning, and I was just looking at everybody, and I'm looking around. I'm just looking at everybody. I was like, man, like everybody here has like a different story to tell.
Yeah, but I told you. Remember, I told you that
background before. Yeah, it's like you don't know like nobody's story. Like you don't know none of these people. Like you don't know where this person been at. Like you don't know what. Matter of fact, I was overhearing like this dude. They was sitting across from me when we was in the hall because we was all going to courtroom 3, and the dude was sitting across the hall talking to the other lady about how he know like the Bush family and like he used to like go over there like for Christmas celebrations and all that. And I was just like, now you really just don't know like nobody like. Yeah. And it's crazy that you don't even know somebody's situation or. Like, you don't know nobody's story and their background, and, like, you was here during the same amount of time, and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they lived this whole life, and then, like, you live this whole different life, and, like, y'all don't know anything about each other, and it's just, that's interesting.
I feel like mine goes, like, a little bit deeper, and I don't know for what reason, but I know I've asked you this before, and I'm like, do you ever, like, be around people and just be thinking, like, what do they be doing at home? Like, are they happy, like, in their life? Is their life good? Like, I just literally be, like, looking at people, and I just be like, I wonder if they have, like, a good life. Like, are they happy in their life? Are they depressed? Like, I just be thinking, like, things like that. I don't know why, and I just be wanting to know, like, I wonder what their life is like. Right. Like, just by looking at them. Like, I wonder what they be doing on the daily. Like,
so you think more like present moment, and like I be thinking like past, like how they grew up. And
oh yeah. So mine be more like present. Like,
yeah.
Like, damn, this lady looks like she's sad. Like, I wonder what's going on in her life. Like,
right. Well, I be looking like people's appearance, and I be like, well, this lady like super slim, or she's skinny, or this guy is like overweight or something like that, and I just be thinking like, damn, I wonder if they got picked on in school, or was they always like this, or they going through something, or you know what I'm saying, like what was their history, like did they have both parents and stuff like that, and Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that I be thinking about, more or less like the background of your origin story, and just what you think about, like that, because that kind of like shapes you to be the person that you are.
Right.
So if this person always has an attitude or always upset all the time, I'm like, damn, I wonder if their parents is always yelling at them, or what affect them to like be this certain specific way. And to act like that, and that's how I be looking at like everybody when I look at them. Like, damn, I wonder what kind of story they got to tell. Like, what's some of their wildest stories that they probably been through, or some of the places that they've been. And yeah, it's truly interesting when you talk to people.
And I feel like since I be doing that to people, I be thinking like, oh, do people do that to me? Like, do they be looking at me like when I'm not paying attention and be like, damn, what she got going on? Like,
They probably do.
Like,
Because I know we ain't the only people that think like that.
Right.
Yeah, that just want to know, like.
I know this, one of the ladies I work with, she always, like, remember I told you, like, I go to work and I try to be, this upbeat person, and I just, I say good morning to everyone, even if I don't know them. I just be like, hey, good morning, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And this one of the ladies I work with, she always be like, she told me the other day, or she usually, like, she always tells me that she's like, every time you say good morning, she'll be like, oh, good morning, how you doing? I'll be like, oh, I'm good. And she's like, every day you say you're good. She was like, how is that possible? And I just started laughing. I was like, what do you want me to say? Like, my life is horrible? I said, then what? I said, wouldn't that be more awkward if I told you the truth?
Right.
And she just started laughing. She was like, no, but, it's normal. Life is not always good. So, it's okay if it's not good. I was like, yeah. I said, but that's kind of like, I said, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I said, because then every day I'm going to tell you my life is horrible. So then what? I said, what are you going to say then?
Right.
And she was like, well, she just started laughing. She was like, well, it's normal. It's normal, though. Sometimes you need to talk about it. And I was like, well, what if I don't want to talk about it? And that's why I say it's good. Like, Everything is good. I said, because it is
Welcome
awkward.
to the good life.
Like, have you ever seen someone and you said good morning, oh, how you doing? They're like, oh, yeah, I'm good. And then let's say you go to another person, you ask them, oh, how you doing? They're like, oh, man, shit is bad. Like, don't you feel awkward? Like, oh, shit, like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I thought you was just going to say you good and, like, keep it moving.
Nah, I wouldn't like, be, I would
be caught off guard.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think it's weird. I would be caught off guard because I'd be like, oh, damn, like, hold on. Yeah. Oh, well.
Nah, but I would want to know.
What do you say? Like, oh, do you want to talk about it? Like, that would be uncomfortable for me because I wouldn't know what to say.
Right.
To you. I'm thinking you're just going to say you good and then I'm going to go to the next person.
So, I would never say, like, it's bad.
It's
usually,
not bad.
like, I would say, like, because I don't always say, okay, cool. I'd be like, oh, man, I'm having a rough one today.
I literally every day, if anyone asks me how I'm doing, I say I'm good. I say, oh, I'm okay. I will never say that I'm not doing good. Why? Because I don't, like, why would I want to dump that on you?
They think you're a robot.
They probably do. They know I be lying, too, because people be catching on. They be like, how you good all the time? Like, I'm like, I'm not going to trauma dump on y'all. So it's like, I can't.
I'd be like, it's
like, I don't feel comfortable because I don't want y'all in my business, number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, if I tell y'all what's going on, y'all can't help me or fix anything. So it's like, why would I put that on anyone, like, to tell them, like, yeah, man, I'm feeling bad today. Like, what do you say to someone like, man, my life is in shambles. Like, I don't feel good today. I don't want to be here. Like, what does someone respond to that? Like, I just feel like it's so awkward to tell someone, like, I don't know, myself, like, I don't feel comfortable doing that to, like, just random people.
Yeah.
So I would feel uncomfortable. Because if someone says it to me and they say they're not good, I'm going to want to help you. Yeah. That's just the type of person I am. So if you say, oh, I'm not doing good, I'm going to want to talk to you. I'm going to want to know what I could do to help you.
You hired for the job. 911 caller. You're hired.
It's like,
we want you.
Just because of my personality, I'm going to want to do something about it if you tell me that you're not doing good. Yeah. And some people are not like that. So I'm like, what would you say to me? Like, if I got to tell you the truth, and we're in a work environment.
Yeah.
Like, y'all gonna go tell HR on me. Like, y'all gonna go call someone. Y'all gonna call the cops or something.
Y'all going to the officers.
Y'all gonna Baker Act me immediately.
Yeah, so.
Just kidding. But, yeah, I just thought that was funny that she caught on. She was like, you always say you're good. Like, why don't you ever say, like, I don't ever see you not smiling or anything. Like, how is that? I just thought that was funny.
That's true.
I'm like, she be watching me then. She be watching me for real.
They always watching. Huh? There's some people that watch people.
Yeah.
They watch people.
Because I can only do like, if I know people are watching me, then I could, I try not to show like my facial expressions, I try to control them. But most of the time, like, I'm not paying attention, my face is probably going to look like crazy, or I'm going to look like, it looks like I'm sad or mad, but that's just how my face is.
Right.
And so then, like, if I'm not paying attention, my face looks like that. And people be like, oh, are you okay? Like, I'll just be like, what?
Like, regular, normal time, man.
Like,
normal
that's just
face. My face. Got a mad face, bro. You look mad all the time. Like, are you angry?
Like,
are you upset?
Sad. I'm just sad all the time.
Upset?
Like, that's just how my face looks permanently.
Are you upset?
Or I have
are
to,
you
like,
sad?
Be laughing and shit all the time.
People
don't ask.
Do you want a handkerchief?
So, yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny.
No,
people be watching. Because I be doing that to people, too. I be watching.
People watching them folks.
Yep.
So, what?
It's interesting.
Yeah. So, as they watch us, we watch them.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. Peace.
Oh, that's it?
That's it,
oh, okay.
I
I thought you were just like rapping or something.
Chopping bars. All right, on the next one.